Hey, welcome, Soul family. Welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul for part 2 of what turned out to be an amazingly cool subject to talk about. One that's taken us 2 episodes to hip you to. But we're good with that, right, Mello?
Right, you are, Max. It's worth the extra love for the knowledge that we're digging into.
Yep, here at Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, diving deep into the DNA of soul music is what we do, right? Anyway, so last episode we were talking about the giants at Atlantic Records and their profound influence.
And we had just reached and touched on a pivotal figure whose vision, though perhaps less known to some, was absolutely instrumental in shaping specific iconic sound. His name was Phil Walden, and the legendary phenomenon was called Muscle Shoals.
Ooh, cue the music. Yeah. So Phil Walden, who famously managed the incomparable Otis Redding and later co-founded Capricorn Records, home of the Allman Brothers band, like shameless promotion, was a guy who embodied a powerful lesson that deeply resonated with independent artists today, right? Had the power of regional artistic cultivation and a fierce, almost rebellious independence. What a cool thought that is.
No, that's right, Max. And he saw immense raw talent bubbling up in places that were often overlooked by the major music hubs.
They certainly were.
You know, places like Macon, Georgia, where Otis was from, and of course, Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Right. What good could come out of something from Alabama, right? That's current that will play in New York.
Exactly.
Who knew? What a crucial lesson, Mello.
You know, he didn't wait for New York or L.A. to validate those sounds. He created a pathway for that authentic Southern soul to reach the world on its own terms.
And he did. And he didn't wait for the established industry to come to him. He said, I'll do it myself. You build your own industry, cultivate your own scene, right where you are. And Phil understood that truly authentic sound often comes from a specific place, a unique cultural melting pot. I think that's a great concept. And he fiercely championed it. I mean, for artists today, especially with this global connectivity we have, it's really about building your local scene as well as fostering your community of creatives, whether they're online or not, and trusting in the power of your unique regional voice and perspective. And that's about celebrating where you come from, being genuine to the music and the soul.
And right now, we're going to be genuine to the fact that we need to take a break.
Right, you're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, and we will be right back.
Stick around.
Hey, welcome back to Architects of Soul. We are talking Muscle Shoals.
Yes, Max, and as we covered on our Fame Studios podcast, there's Muscle Shoals itself, specifically the music makers of both Fame and Muscle Shoals Sound Studio.
Recall.
Yeah, and it's an incredible house band, effectively known as the Swampers.
Oh, Muscle Shoals got the Swampers.
The Swampers. And as we've spoken about, that collective was the masterclass in the power of collaboration, intuitive musicality, and innate undeniable groove.
They were a badass band.
Oh, yeah. They had like Barry Beckett on keyboards and Roger Hawkins on drums.
Jimmy Johnson on guitar.
David Hood on the bass.
Those 4 guys were a killer. And if you really want to check it out, you can go check our Fame podcast where we really talk about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that couldn't be replicated. It was a feel that was just right in a deep pocket that perfectly complemented every artist from Aretha to the Rolling Stones.
Oh, without a doubt. And speaking of those legendary Muscle Shoals sessions, we'd be remiss not to mention another pivotal figure who, though not a permanent Swampers member, lit up many of those recordings at Fame. And I think we know who we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And that was my guitar hero from a young kid to this very day, Duane Allman. Skydog. In his short lifetime, he had a monumental impact on this music and all branches of soul, right into rock and blues and jazz. And his lesson was the transformative power of a unique, instantly recognizable voice on your instrument. And he had that voice. And his fearless pursuit of soulful expression, regardless of the genre. Duane didn't care. It was all music. And that's what it is. 12 tones, play them any way you want. Right? You can bring something to everything. And he did. He brought us pure soul to tracks like Wilson Pickett's Hey Jude, or his incredible work on Aretha Franklin's The Wait.
Exactly, Max. Duane's contribution was more than just guitar playing. It was an infusion of pure, unadulterated soul.
Yeah, he was a badass.
Oh, no, he wasn't constrained by genre labels, and he just played with absolute raw feeling. And for us...
Quite a lesson.
Yeah, for us modern musicians, Duane is a testament to the importance of developing your own distinctive sound and your own musical fingerprint.
Because you knew who he was and you heard him.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just play the notes with you play them with your emotion, and with
bring
your
what you bring to it.
Exactly. And his ability to seamlessly blend into a soul context while still sounding unmistakably like himself is a masterclass in musical identity.
Yeah, he called that hitting the note, right? When they were hitting the note, you were playing it all and you were letting it all hang out. He was a dynamo. And the lessons from Muscle Shoals, enhanced by players like Duane, they're incredibly clear and actionable. Find your tribe, your musical family, your true collaborators. Surround yourself with musicians who not only possess technical skills, but who listen, who feel, who anticipate, and who contribute beyond just hitting the right notes. That synergy, that collective consciousness, and the deep bond, wow, it's what truly creates timeless records. It wasn't about individual egos or shredding solos. It was always about serving the music, serving the song. Tom Dowd served the song, and this created an undeniable foundation that allowed the lead vocals or instruments to soar. And man, did they soar.
Oh, yeah, really powerful stuff from these architects, Max.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break because the power is just knocking us out. So we're going to come back and we'll talk about the writers and musos at Muscle Shoals.
And in case you forgot, you're locked into Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, where we're digging up the diamonds of wisdom from soul music's past to inform our future.
Word. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. We've talked about the visionary producers, the astute label heads, and the powerful studio environments that forged soul music. Now it's time to truly shine a light on the often unsung heroes, the bedrock of the entire movement, the incredible songwriters and session musicians, and they were who are the very heartbeat of soul music, especially those associated with Atlantic and that Muscle Shoals scene. Ooh,
absolutely, Max. Think about the legendary writing teams like names like Jerry Goffin and Carole King, or Barry Mann and Cynthia Wilde.
They were badasses.
Oh, yeah, they wrote some of the greatest songs that transcended pop and found their true soulful expression through artists like Aretha Franklin.
Yes, and that's some lesson.
Yeah, the undeniable lesson here is the profound power of exceptional songwriting as the absolute foundation of everything.
Oh, undoubtedly, Mello.
Well, yeah, a truly great song with a compelling narrative and an unforgettable melody can transcend genre and era and even language barriers.
Goes to what we always say, Mello. A good song is a good song. Is a good song. Exactly. Is a good song. Mm-hmm. And the ability to craft a narrative, a hook, an emotional arc that connects universally, that's amazing. That's the timeless mastery that we learn from these writers. And for today's artists, it's certainly a vital reminder that even with all the sophisticated production bells and whistles, and boy, do we got a lot of bells and whistles, the song itself must stand strong, raw, and impactful. You can have the most incredible voice, the most innovative beats, but if the core of the song isn't there, well, if the lyrics lack depth or the melody isn't memorable, you're done. It won't resonate with the lasting power of the classics. And truthfully, that's just the way it is. It's about lyrical truth and melodic memorability. At the core of it all is the song. And what is that, Mello? That's
our path. Yeah, exactly. No doubt about that. And lyrics and melody, that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's all you should say.
Right. Then you have to get to the session musicians, though.
Oh, yes.
We already touched on the magic of the swampers. The swampers. You got to say it like the swampers at Muscle Shoals and the electrifying contribution of Duane Allman. Yeah, you got to mention him. But there were so many more. The Atlantic House Band in New York and the Memphis studio players.
Yeah, which we covered in the stacks.
Yeah, and the brilliance brought in by Wexler and Dowd, by Jerry Wexler and Tom Dowd. Their collective lesson is unparalleled versatility, an impeccable feel, and a selfless, ego-free dedication to the song above all else.
Exactly. That serving of the song is so critical. And those guys, if you look at all the different people that they worked with, they
could play anything.
Yeah,
they could adapt to any artist style.
They served the song everywhere they went.
Yeah. They always provided the perfect groove, and texture, and emotion. Yeah. They were chameleons of soul, and to be able to shift from delicate balladry to raw funk.
Well, that's a colossal lesson for emerging artists, for bands, and for producers, Mello. It's not just about the technical chops or how fast you can play. It's about deep listening, profound empathy for the music, and knowing precisely when to play. or perhaps even more importantly, when not to play. The spaces between the notes are just as important, if not more so, than the notes themselves. And this is what we do. Those session musicians understood this. They understood the groove, the pocket, dynamics, and the musical communication with an intuitive genius that we should all study and absorb. Duane Allman, for instance, was not overplaying on those soul tracks. He was just providing exactly what the song needed with the maximum impact and emotion and feeling.
Yes, Max. They taught us that the truly great rhythm section is not just a support structure, but it's like the backbone.
You better believe it.
Yeah, of the pulsating heart of soul music. So think about the profound, almost telepathic interplay between the bass and the drums.
Right. It's a living thing.
Yeah, it's a living, breathing conversation. It's a soulful dance for us. And for us in Soul and the New Vibe, and for anyone creating soul music today, studying those classic rhythms, understanding that profound, like, musical communication is absolutely essential.
No doubt.
It's not just about laying down a beat. It's about giving a song like a pulse and a breath, a living soul that moves people.
A living soul that moves people. That is the shit, Mello. And once again, if you're enjoying the insights that we're sharing.
If you're liking the vibe, as it were.
Must be time for a pun. Huh, Mello? Well, if we're floating your boat. All right, one more. Yeah, you are okay. If we're on the same wavelength, do our planets still align? All right, that's too mellow. You're going to have to go to a punitentiary now. So, Soul Fam, please give us a like and a subscribe to our channel. Your engagement truly helps us continue these vital conversations and explore the rich legacy of soul,
which we hope enlightens and educates you like it enlightens and educates us.
No doubt, Mello. Well, that was some nice dive into the Atlantic machine, right?
Yeah.
So right now we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the next part of Atlantic, and that will be...
That's right. That's going to be my production hero, Arif Marden. We'll be right back after this.
You got it. Stick around. Thanks for tuning into Architects of Soul. Our music is waiting for you.
And welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. We're talking about Atlantic Records, and specifically right now, we're talking about my production hero,
there you go,
Arif Marden. He was a pivotal figure at Atlantic Records.
He was the missing piece of the puzzle.
Oh, yeah. He started as an assistant in 1963, and he became a key producer, arranger, and eventually a VP at the label.
And what they had developed...
Yeah, it became known as the Atlantic sound.
That was it. And that style, which blended R&B, soul, and pop, man, Arif was like the topping on the cake.
Yeah, yeah. He was... working with the co-founders Ahmet Ertegun and Jerry Wexler,
and my boy Tommy Dowd.
Tommy Dowd, yeah, exactly. That was the Atlantic sound,
and that was their label's musical identity, which was a hell of an impact. Arif's influence spanned decades and genres. That guy definitely he could go from any song to any other song. His versatility and his ability to work with a diverse range of talents was absolutely staggering.
Everybody from Willie Nelson to Hall & Oates.
That's right.
Back.
And helping them achieve the commercial and critical success. Just working with them wasn't enough for him. Obviously, he had to achieve a critical success. That's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. His extensive production and arrangements they include, back in the day, was
Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin.
Start there, the queen.
She was the queen. And they wrote together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they wrote together, they arranged together, and he, of course, was behind a lot of her bigger hits on Atlantic.
And they were just he started as an administrative assistant, like a secretary, right? And when they realized what talent he had, and this goes to Arif and Nesui's, they're being able to sniff it out, right? Those guys between Wexler, all of them, now he was like the piece of the puzzle that was missing. It was amazing, and to think about the Bee Gees, right? They have to get the Bee Gees. He was instrumental in finding out that Barry had
He was the one who discovered Barry's falsetto.
Yeah. They were not hip to it. Yeah. Apparently, he was just messing around, and Arif heard it. No, he wasn't. He didn't mean it. And Arif was like, no, let's explore this.
Exactly.
Sort of like some cowbell, got to explore the room.
But I mean, that became Nights on Broadway, and the all that falsetto stuff at the end of that was the beginning of Barry using his falsetto.
And boy, did they take advantage
the rest
of
that album. Fanny Be Tender came from that
right
album.
up to Staying Alive 2 years later.
Yeah, exactly. And that's their biggest hit, I think.
I would think it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, we can't forget who comes next. Your girl.
Oh,
the queen. And she is my girl, too. I don't give a shit what no one says.
He produced a lot of other people in between, but yeah, he finally got to My Girl. Actually, he was producing Shaka at the same time he was producing the Average White Band, which he was also producing them at the same time.
And what happened? They played on the record.
Ended up using the Average White Band on not just that Shaka's first solo album, but on her subsequent 4 solo albums after that.
It just goes to show you exactly how great the ears were at Atlantic Records.
Yeah.
From Wexler and the Erteguns to Tommy Dowd down to Arif Marden. I mean, every single one of them let the artist be the artist. And they made that bigger.
Yeah.
And I mean, like Phil Collins, think about that. And Nora Jones. You know, Arif, we're way back in the 60s talking about soul, but you got to go into the future to talk about this just because this guy's done so much.
He took Donny Hathaway with him without Roberta Flack. He produced some just classic records like Brooke Benton's Rainy Night in Georgia. and
over 40 gold and platinum
Groovin'
records.
by the Little Rascals. Yeah.
Yeah. Multiple Grammy Awards, including being named Producer of the Year 7 times. 7 times.
Yeah.
Man, his legacy is defined by his masterful arrangements and, truthfully, his knack for nurturing an artist's unique sounds across a broad musical spectrum, which we talked about.
Right.
So, Arif Marden, man, that guy was a badass.
Yeah, he really was.
Arif's impact is filled with anecdotes about the things that he did and that illustrate his unique blend of classical training and his deep intuitive understanding of American R&B and soul music. I mean, he went to Berklee College of Music. Yeah. So he totally had an extensive, knowledge of chords and changes. And when he first started arranging for Atlantic's artists, right, he realized that the complex chords that he was so used to doing in the sophisticated harmonies, they weren't going to do it because they were at odds. They were at odds with that raw, simple power of the blues and rock.
Exactly.
And he always joked that he had to forget his knowledge of major seventh and diminished and write in a simple, pure way to serve the music, right?
That was his polite way of saying he was trying to dumb it down.
Exactly. But it shows this humility and his ability to adapt those talents to the needs of the artist. How important is that serving the song, right? Rather than imposing his own will, it was part of his genius.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then let's go to Dusty. Gotta go talk about Dusty in Memphis.
That album is considered a masterpiece, and Arif was, of course, a crucial part of its creation.
Oh, without a doubt. The anecdote goes that Dusty was really nervous. She was a perfectionist, and the sessions were really tense.
While Jerry Wexler was the main producer, Arif Marden was the arranger who was credited with creating the lush string and horn arrangements.
The horn arrangements,
he was known for throughout his career, by the way.
Well, it was a distinctive sound that he created.
Yeah.
And he was able to work with these artists and musicians and build that soundscape that perfectly complemented Dusty's voice. Right? Her soulful voice with those beautiful strings, the enduring legacy, that's a testament to Arif and his ability to fuse pop, soul, and orchestrated arrangements into something really new and timeless.
Yeah, exactly. And his first hit, by the way, was Good Lovin' with the Young Rascals.
That's right. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
And that was about Instinct, that song.
Yeah, my song by them is Groovin', which he also produced.
That's a great song. But I'll tell you what, with Good Lovin', because he wasn't well known yet, they were like judging on him on his instincts, and his instincts panned out, which of course that's an Atlantic hallmark, because the raw energy and tight production and its call and response vocals, right? It went straight to number 1 on the charts. And it was like the movement, the moment that proved to Atlantic and to Arif himself that he was fucking there. He had arrived and he had what it took to be a major producer, and it launched his legendary career. What a story.
Wow.
This was some impactful episode of
really
Max and
was.
Mello's Architects of Soul, isn't it?
Absolutely.
2 minutes in one this was. We really thank you for sticking around.
For 2 whole episodes,
Right, we're going to take a break and come
anybody
back.
who's still with us is a trooper.
Right, we're going to take a break and come back and wrap it up with a bow. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. Wow, Mello. That was a truly incredibly illuminating part 2 journey that we took today and last week through the minds and sounds of these particular architects of soul. From the sharp business acumen and unwavering artistic conviction of Ahmet Ertegun, amazing, to the environment crafting genius of Jerry Wexler, and we see every bit of evidence about that, to the sonic innovation of my hero Tom Dowd, and the independent regional spirit of Phil Walden, right down to the end, and the man who put that cherry on that cake, Arif Marden. Bet.
Well, yes, Max, it's abundantly clear that their lessons are not just dusty historical footnotes.
Yeah, we ain't blowing the dust off of nothing.
No, they're living, breathing blueprints and actionable strategies and profound philosophies for today's artists.
Amen.
The relentless drive for authenticity, the transformative power of collaboration.
Yeah, the non-negotiable importance of a truly great song.
Exactly. The development of a unique instrumental voice and the relentless pursuit of your own unique sound.
Damn, that's some shit.
That's right. These are the core principles. That's what's truly vitally relevant.
In those days and in these days.
Yeah.
The heyday of soul to the heyday of the soul and the new vibe. And that's part of our process, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So for us and all of our fellow artists striving to make their mark, understanding these paths, understanding these foundational stories helps us not just navigate our own journeys, but to infuse them with a deeper meaning and purpose. We're turning them into songs that speak to the heart and move the soul. That's what we're about. It's about building on the incredible legacy, not just imitating it. No, it is about extracting the wisdom to innovate and create from that innovation.
Amen. And from the both of us here at Architects of Soul, we would like to leave you with this one simple thought.
That's right.
Keep that soul fire burning, protect your sound, nurture your creativity, own your voice, and remember the lessons from the giants who came before.
And yes, protect your masters and seek out wise mentors who can truly guide you on your journey. And until next we meet, peace and soul, y'all.